Hey, shalom y'all. I'm Magid Jhos singer from the JCC of San Francisco, and we're gonna learn today to make a cocktail that I'm calling Passover in a glass. I'm a Magid. A Magid is kind of like a rabbi, but a little bit not like a rabbi. So what I mostly do is teach Jewish wisdom, texts, and the holidays, and all of that, but I kind of do it in a flavor of narrative and connection to the body, to the self, to the soul. And I'm also a mixologist, and I think mixology is a really, really great metaphor for this life. A little dangerous, a little toxic, a little delicious, a little complex. And I think this drink does a good job of catching a lot of the elements of Passover and putting them all together in one little elixir. So let's dive in without further ado. So we always have to start with matzah because Passover is all about matzah. So what I'm going to do today is take a sheet of matzah like this, and just plain matzah will do the trick. And we're going to break it up because you do break it in 3 pieces or more. And then I'm going to put it in this pint-sized mason jar. Broken pieces of matzah. You don't want to break them too small. You don't want it to be too crummy. So just big enough to get in that jar, like that. And you know, broken matzah, that's a whole metaphor. If you've been to a Passover Seder, you know that there's a moment in the Seder where matzahs are broken. So this is a little tribute to that. So you've got a jar full of matzah. And then what you're gonna do is take some, I've experimented with this, and I find that either vodka, and you can get potato vodka, which is kosher lepesach, kosher for Passover, or I was thinking about using rum. So I've done both, but today we're gonna do the vodka. So you just pour that right in on top of that matzah, right up to the top. Perfect. And then you're gonna let that sit for an hour or 2. Voila, like that. That was a little time travel that we did. So here is a jar that I've had sitting for a few hours for us so that it was ready to go, and I could show you the next step. So after sitting in that vodka for a couple of hours, you're gonna take just a plain old regular pour over coffee filter, just like that, nothing special, over another one of those pint-sized jars, and just pour that stuff in there, just like that, and let it filter down. And while that's filtering, we're going to, it'll only take it a minute or 2 to drip through. Boom. Then you've got this. I was considering making some matzah brie out of this. We could call that little secret breakfast kind of situation, but that's up to you. All right, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get the rest of your drink going here. We're gonna need some kind of a mixing glass. I like this kind of fancy beaker, but you could use anything. You could use another mason jar for that matter. And we're going to hit it with a couple of shots of this Angostura orange bitters. So about 3 dashes, 1, 2, 3. 3 dashes of that orange bitters in there. And now we are going to use the same proportion for anybody who's thinking in this way that you would for a Manhattan. But we're going to use some kosher white grape juice as in place of our vermouth. So we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of that. That's gonna go right in there. And boom, like that. And then we are going to put our spirit in the other half of our neatly, beautifully proportioned jigger. So we're gonna put 3/4 of an ounce of that. Now look at how beautiful that is. Remember that vodka was like crystal clear, right? And now it's got this beautiful kind of amber color. That's the matzah flavor. We're gonna pour that in like that, 3/4 of an ounce, or an ounce and a half of the spirit into that juice and bitters. And then we're going to, in a very noisy fashion, we're gonna just like come on over here, and we are gonna get some ice. And I'm getting it out of my refrigerator. It's not ideal. It's better if you can get commercially prepared ice that's crystal clear, that melts at a better rate, but this will do the trick. If this is all you've got, then this is what you got. It's all I've got. So here we go. Now we're gonna get a bunch of that ice in there. Boom, 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 boom. All the way up to the top. Go, 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 go. It's icy, icy cold. All right, perfect. All right, let's come back over here to our little workstation. All right, great. So now we've got that in there. And we're just gonna take a simple mixing spoon and we're gonna mix that around just like this. There's lots of tricky techniques that you can use to do this. The main thing is that it's not agitating it too much, but it's swirling it nicely, getting it mixed and slightly diluted by that ice and getting nice and cold. All right, beautiful. That is gonna do the trick. Excellent. Now you're gonna take a beautiful conical shaped vessel of some sort. This is a very beautiful Swedish, it's about a 6 ounce glass. I like it because it's kind of petite and I like my drinks kind of petite. So I'm gonna use that. And now I'm going to take, yes, because the other thing you've gotta have at Passover is Manischewitz. Kosher Concord grape wine. It's the flavor of Passover. All right, we're gonna take a 1/2 ounce of that and we're gonna pour it into the very bottom of our martini style glass, okay? Right down there in the bottom. You see that? Okay. Now we're gonna do a tricky maneuver, it's very cool, called a float. We're gonna float our drink on top of that Manischewitz. Now the Manischewitz should do a pretty good job of staying down towards the bottom because it has a higher specific gravity. It's heavier than the other ingredients. So I'm just gonna tilt this down, hopefully, so you can see what I'm doing, because it's a little bit of a tricky thing. Alrighty, there we go. All right, you can see that. Now I'm gonna take my spoon and I'm gonna take my drink with a strainer on there. And I'm gonna put the back of the spoon right here. And I'm gonna very gently pour that drink on top. Very gently and slowly. So it doesn't agitate the Manischewitz. And that Manischewitz is gonna sit down at the bottom and we're gonna get this nice ombre little rainbow situation going on, or a sunset. Yeah, it's like an Sinai sunset. Oh, that'd be a good name for it, Sinai sunset, huh? But we haven't gotten to Sinai yet. That's the thing. We're just getting out of the desert. All right, that's getting pretty good. Go slow, Jhos. Go slow. Looking nice. Looking nice. Looking nice. Beautiful. All right, and then the last thing that the last element of the Seder that we're going to include in this drink is the karpas, is a little bit of beautiful spring parsley, representing newness, refreshment, and rebirth. And hopefully that's where we're all heading, my holy friends. We have been in a bit of a Mitzrayim this last year, a bit of a narrow place. And this parsley represents freshness, newness, what's coming ahead. So there we go. We're just gonna gently lay that into that drink. And look at what we got. There it is. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that beautiful? So we got our Manischewitz, we got our matzah, we got our karpas. You're ready to go with Passover. Let's see how it tastes. Oh my gosh, it totally smells like Passover. Unbelievable. You gotta try this. This is crazy. This is so great. Matzah, Manischewitz, and then light aroma of a fresh new spring. All right, friends, Hag Sameach, a sweet holiday to you, and I hope you enjoy this. Thanks for being with us today.